The knock came at 3:17 a.m., 3 sharp raps that sliced through the dark like a scalpel. I was already half awake, the way you are when you've just come off a 16-hour trauma shift and your body forgets how to shut down. The wind outside howled like something wounded, hurling sleet against the windows of my tiny rental. I threw back the covers, ice-cold floorboards biting my soles, and stumbled to the door with my phone glowing 3:17 in my hand. No one good ever shows up at 3:17. I flicked on the porch light. A boy stood there, 12 years old, maybe 90 pounds soaking wet, bent almost double under the weight of his little sister draped across his back like a broken doll. Eli's cheeks were marble white, lips violet, eyelashes crusted with frost. The 5-year-old, Mia, wasn't moving. She wore unicorn pajamas, so thin I could see the blue of her skin through them. Eli had wrapped her in his own parka. He had nothing but a threadbare moving blanket stolen from somebody's garage. I didn't think. I just moved. I snatched Mia into my arms. She weighed nothing, a bird made of ice, and barked at Eli to get inside. He collapsed the second her weight left him, knees cracking against my tile. Hypothermia, both of them. Mia's breathing sounded like a whistle through a cracked reed, croup or asthma or both, triggered by the cold. I wrapped her torso in every blanket I owned, cranked the shower to steam, and dug out the emergency nebulizer I kept for patients who couldn't afford their own. While the mist hissed into Mia's lungs, I microwaved broth, forced Eli to sip it, and called 911 with the calm voice I use when parents are losing their minds in my trauma bay. This is RN Harper Quinn, badge 7184. 2 pediatric hypothermia cases, 1 critical airway. Possible neglect. Send police. Sirens came fast. In the ambulance, Eli finally spoke, voice flat as a dead monitor. Dad changed the door code from his phone at the yacht club party.
Said it was cooler that way.
Never told us the new one. Battery died on my phone. We got locked out at 11. Garage was the only place left. He said it like he was reading a grocery list. Like an apology he'd practiced 1,000 times and still didn't believe. I wanted to be sick. By dawn, both kids were admitted, parents still MIA at some blackjack table in another state. Child services showed up, Ms. Delgado, clipboard sharp as her stare, informing me that if my 1-bedroom apartment wasn't placement ready, in 24 hours, Eli and Mia would vanish into foster care. I sold everything that wasn't nailed down. My grandmother's sapphire ring. The vintage camera I'd babed since college. The single-origin coffee roaster I'd splurged on after finally paying off Mom's cancer bills. Cash piled up like poker chips in a bad bet. I bought bunk beds, car seats, nebulizer supplies, and every dinosaur chicken nugget in a 10-mile radius. Then the parents arrived, Reeve and Sasha, tanned and furious, reeking of last night's vodka and entitlement. Reeve cornered me in the hospital corridor, breath sour, offering to make my student loans disappear if I'd just say it was an accident. I told him where he could shove his hush money. He grabbed my arm hard enough to leave fingerprints. Eli, 12 years old, feet still wrapped in gauze, stood up from his wheelchair and screamed, "Get your hands off my aunt." Security hauled Reeve away in cuffs. Sasha followed 10 minutes later, mascara streaking like war paint. The trial was brutal. Server logs proved Reeve changed the code at 11:03 p.m. while live streaming his own drunken party. Neighbors testified about Eli dragging bags of cans to the recycling center for grocery money. The judge didn't flinch. Parental rights terminated, prison sentences handed down, house sold, proceeds locked into a trust one control. 2 years later, the trust bought us a small blue house with a porch swing and a kitchen big enough for Saturday morning pancakes. Eli is 14 now, starting pitcher for the varsity team, scar tissue on his toes barely visible. Mia's asthma is managed. She sings louder than the nebulizer ever hissed. Dr. Levi Brooks, the attending who treated me the night Reeve bruised my arm, never really left after that shift. He's teaching Eli how to throw a slider and teaching me that second chances can look like a man who brings home donuts and never forgets to charge the kids' phones. Some nights, I still jolt awake at 3:17, heart racing, waiting for a knock that never comes. The only thing that knocks now is the wind against windows that will never, ever be locked against them again.